when I'm nervous, and then I color code. Oh my goodness, not good. You think it's amazing? Made you nervous, right?
I know. Get the full map out. All right, come in closer.
Oh.
There.
Okay.
You're good. And the sun's going to come here between us. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yes. Everyone is like sleeping at their desk right now, so we want to make as much noise as possible. Okay. Welcome to another Community Connections from our Elixir Kitchen team. My name is Jeremy Capone. I'm the wellness chef for Cancer Rehab and Survivorship. And joining me as always, our amazing registered dietitian, Daniela Frini. Hello, Daniela.
Love the way he says my name. Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
And I think we should go right into our special guest.
Yes, we do have a special guest today.
Yes.
Asada McKenzie.
Yeah, okay, come on in.
Yes. So Asada is joining us. Asada, you are the UHN Wellness Coordinator.
Correct.
Perfect. And we have a special month. We're celebrating a special month.
That's right.
Yes.
October can be many things, but it's also Healthy Workplace Month. And so whether you find yourself working at home, in the office, wherever you're working, it's a human right to have a healthy workplace. And that healthy workplace includes the right to your breaks, to rest, to connect, and to eat. Obviously. Did you like that segue?
Yes, I loved it.
Yes.
Thank you, Asada. Asada's often been in the seats, just one of our amazing supporters. If you watch older videos, you'll hear her clapping. We're starting the applause in the background, so thank you so much. We're happy you're listening today. And we'll
Get
jump
started.
right into it.
Okay. Well, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about wellness this time.
Yeah.
And it actually relates to an article that, I was scrolling on Instagram. And I came across this article, and it was called, "The Day I Realized Wellness Was Making Me Sick." And I thought, oh, okay. We have a course called Feel Good and Eat Well. Wellness chef, you're, wellness coordinator. And then I read on it, and a key quote from the article was, "The wellness practices that had started as care for so many of us had quietly hardened into pressure." And I thought, okay, I need to reflect on this a little bit. And because this week we're also celebrating wellness, I thought it might be good to start the session with this and bring to the forefront what they were talking about. So it's not that wellness is bad and that we shouldn't think about wellness. It's what we do with what we hear, right? And the tools that we are put forth. So achieving wellness is not about adhering to a strict set of rules. And I think sometimes that's what we end up doing. You hear, this will make me better. I should meditate. I should eat well. Should, right? The should.
Mm-hmm.
I should, and the meditate. I should meditate for 10 minutes. I should exercise, 150 minutes a week. Darn dietitian says I need to eat, small meals frequently and drink a lot of water. The chef says I need to, he never does say should. He never does say should, right? He's good at that. And what we want to do, it's really about discovering our own path to what makes us well, our peace, our joy, our health, our balance. So what is it we are really looking for? And utilize the tools that help us and throw out what doesn't. But even after you found those tools, and I found myself doing this, and I think this is why it resonated with me because I found myself doing this, is that then you feel that you need to stick to those set of rules, but you need to be open to change, you need to be flexible, life happens, and you need to be kind to yourself. And I think that's a big part of what we want to bring forward. So wellness isn't about checking off things on your to-do list. We love to make to-do lists, but it's not about that. It's about tuning into your inner self and doing what you can and what you can that day. The same principle applies to what we share with you today. And like Jeremy says, he likes to inspire people to get into the kitchen, to make, transform their own foods into something healthy. And so we're here to inspire you, not to dictate your journey. Okay.
I love that, especially when we throw out the rules, because I'm all about throwing out the rules. We often do that with our own recipes. So, segueing. We're going to jump into our first recipe.
Yes.
Do you have a little intro?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I know it's all about me right now.
No.
I'll turn it over to Darren. So our first recipe, Brussels sprouts and farro salad. And we'll talk a little bit about whether it's Brussels or Brussels, because I found both in my research. So yeah. So this is a fantastic way to elevate your diet with vibrant vegetables and wholesome whole grains, just as nutrition experts recommend. Back to what those nutrition experts say. Farro is an ancient grain. It's packed with fiber. It also has protein, and it can rival quinoa for the nutrients it contains. Brussels sprouts are part of the cruciferous family. Okay, all these S's. Yes. My lisp is coming out. Sorry, front row, if I'm spitting on. Oh, maybe I need a guard. She's not. A guard here. I'm not spitting. Okay. Celebrated for their outstanding health benefits. Combined, they make this delightful dish that not only pleases the palate, but also nourishes our body. So embrace this nourishing salad for a tasty and healthy boost. I don't know. I must have been in a certain frame of mind. Whatever that means. Okay, so enough for me. Over to Jared. He's still laughing.
I can let this go on for a little bit longer.
I didn't get much sleep last night.
This is perfect for this type of recipe because you don't need much sleep to put this recipe together.
Yes,
All right. So we are. This is still sort of the fall, autumn. We're just for Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, and so we're sort of in that vibe, ingredient-wise. And you may hate these by this point, but we're making a Brussels sprout salad.
What? You don't like? Oh,
okay, yeah. So
we have to make a believer. Yes, yeah.
So who likes Brussels sprouts?
I don't see any hands up.
No, half of you are lying.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So this is, we're taking the Brussels sprout, we're changing it up a little bit. We're doing something a little different. We're making a salad with it. I think the biggest sort of turn off with Brussels sprouts is when you boil or steam them, because they're cruciferous. They give off a very traditional cruciferous odor. That's not too pleasant. And sometimes when they're like whole and texturally, they're like a little on the softer side, they're probably not super pleasant.
Yeah.
So we're going to treat it almost like a cabbage, like a salad, and we're going to use it raw.
Okay.
In this case, if you need it cooked, you can absolutely cook it as well. Mm-hmm. I think Danielle, you'll
yeah. So because it's part of the cruciferous family, and it can be gas forming for some people have trouble digesting it. Raw usually is harder to digest. So if that's the case for you, you want to cook it and put it in the salad too.
I would do it the same way. So have it shredded, and they sell it shredded now. You can buy shredded if you're not super comfortable with your knife skills. Otherwise, you take the cabbage, wash it, outer leaves off. If the bottom is a little gnarly, you can just trim that off. And then we're just going to just gently run our knife through it. I think I was in a meditation mode, and I meant to save some to show you live. But just getting it into like a finer piece like this. Yeah. And then if you want to cook it, just toss it in a little bit of olive oil on a sheet pan and just roast it in the oven, 425, until you get some nice color. They're going to taste fantastic. And I would push it until they're like really nice and sort of caramelized and like golden brown. You're going to get crispy edges, and it's fantastic. And if I wanted to make the recipe a little longer, I would add that step. Whoa.
Someone doesn't like Brussels sprouts?
No, someone doesn't. No, we're making our space. It's like 425. Yeah, high heat, because the key with Brussels sprouts is we want to get rid of the water inside the Brussels sprout as quickly as possible to really promote that caramelization.
So just till it gets kind of brownish.
Exactly. Because they're fine and they're shredded like this, it'll happen pretty quickly. Yeah. So it won't take that long. Yeah, in the Brussels sprout. But in this case, we're going to use it almost like a crunchy salad raw. Okay, so I have my Brussels sprouts here.
Great start.
We're going to change this, hopefully. For you. Okay.
I don't know. Asada looks like she's ready to dig in.
Yes.
I'm
right?
very interested. But while you continue with that,
Yes.
I want to also admit that I'm the biggest fangirl of both of these.
Oh.
Usually I'm very chatty, but right now I am just really just taking this all in.
Okay.
So as they share, as they often do, great information for all of you, I am selfishly going to ask some questions about them while they do their job. So I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with the dressing, which is a little bit of lemon juice, some olive oil, and I put a little Dijon in there. That's optional if you like that little extra kick. And because I've done this in advance, this is something that I will share with you. The onions in this dish, that's the first step. I'm going to add it to the dressing and let it sit while I'm working on the rest of my ingredients. The reason being is that lemon juice or that acid, let's say I'm using vinegar instead of lemon juice, which you can do in this recipe, it's going to start to break down the onions and it's going to almost slightly pickle them. It's going to draw some of the sweetness out of the onions. And just by doing that step first, it's completely transforming this ingredient. Okay, so from being a very harsh, aggressive, like raw onion can be, it's going to be really nice and sweet, really delicate, and it's going to form this dressing that's going to cling to all my other ingredients as I toss this up. Okay, so that's the first step. You can see like how soft it is. It almost looks like caramelized onions without the color.
How long did you say it was sitting? Or
Minimum like 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay.
But you can leave it longer. This has been here probably for like 30, right? Just sort of softening up a little bit, and you can see that texture, really, really nice and soft.
Oh, no, they can't because I need mine.
Oh, okay, here we go. Director Scorsese.
Now they'll be able to. Oh.
P2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so
now you can see it.
Thank you. So there we go. Okay, so nice and soft. That's the first thing we're going to do as we're prepping the rest of the ingredients. We're going back to shot 1. Thank you, director.
It's slow today.
I might be low on batteries.
Uh-oh, we're stuck.
We're stuck on shot 1.
We're stuck.
All right, we're gonna do it manually.
Yes, and then I guess I'll just stop. I won't use.
No more remote for you.
No more remote. Bummer.
So while he's
Yes.
adjusting, you can't see me, but I'm asking some really intense questions. Are you ready, Daniela?
Yes.
These are 20 quick questions.
Are
No
you doing them all
overthinking.
at once?
Nope. But no
Okay.
overthinking and no overcooking, of course. So while you're fixing that, what's the most unusual ingredient that you love? Go.
We had your face there for a second. I don't think I have an unusual ingredient. Everything I'm a little boring.
Oh,
Ordinary.
I like that. What's
Yeah.
your go-to snack at work?
Oh, yogurt. Greek yogurt. Yeah, Greek yogurt. And if I'm here, maybe I'll throw in some of the tasty granola topping that Jeremy makes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yummy.
Yeah.
What's your dietitian's superpower?
Gosh, we should ask the audience that one. What is my superpower? I think it may be, and I think this is for most dietitians, is being able to take the research, the nutrition research, and then translate it into a way that's easy to understand. And then with Jeremy's help, you can incorporate it into your life.
That
Yeah.
indeed is a superpower.
Okay.
Avocado, fruit, veggie, or magical unicorn?
Magical unicorn.
All right.
Thank you. And I won't touch the remote anymore. He
No
took it
more
away.
remote.
He took it away from me.
The remote
so I
has been
can't even,
confiscated.
you know.
All right, so that's the first thing. We have our dressing. We have our onions doing its thing. Back to the fado. I love
Yes.
these amazing tips about the fado. It's such an amazing grain to use. We often don't use a lot of these whole grains because they can be a little bit time consuming to cook. They can be a little intimidating. Like, how do I use it? What dishes can I put them in? This is fado, which is our whole grain. Fado, yes. So it comes in a few different forms. You may see it as spelt, which is a version of the fado. And you will see it in either a hulled or non-hulled form. Okay, so what that means is in the hulled version, some of the bran has been stripped to make it a lot quicker to cook. right? Both are great options. I think you're probably just losing a
Yeah,
little fiber, right?
you'll lose some fiber and some nutrients when
Yeah.
it's hulled, but then, there's options. It's, what do you need? Something quicker cooking, or do you need all that fiber? We also have Brussels sprouts in this, so we're getting lots of fiber here too. So
Yeah. The most common version that you'll find in the store is probably going to be a hulled version, okay? So cooking wise, you would cook this much like you would cook pasta. So like a drain and rinse, okay? So fill up your pot, boiling water, add your fado to it, and boil it until it becomes tender. You can season it at that point, but like 25 minutes to 30 minutes. Because it takes a little bit longer, what I would suggest is especially if you like using it, cook a bigger batch of the fado. And then once it's cooked to this point, you can keep it in the fridge for 3 to 4 days, or you can keep it in the freezer. And you can keep it in like little small blocks, and then you can add it to stews, you can add it to soups, you can add it to salads, you can add it to different dishes as you need, but it's a nice way to integrate whole grain into it.
yeah, and it has a nice texture too. A little bit
Really,
of a
really
chewy,
a little bit of a
texture.
chewiness to it. It doesn't get
yeah.
really soft, so it actually holds up really well if you do want to freeze it. It's not like you're really losing much texture on it. Okay, so
And just a quarter cup dry can give you about 5 grams of fiber, similar to quinoa, 6 grams of protein, similar to quinoa. The only difference is that farro is not gluten-free. You heard Jeremy mention, did he mention it? Yeah, it's an ancient wheat grain, so yeah, it has gluten in it.
yeah. Okay, so we have all of our major components here. We have our Brussels sprouts, we have our fado, and we have our dressing and our onions.
Was there a question?
Really just combining. Ask away, yes.
I was wondering if you can get farro, if
Yes.
you can use quinoa also.
Absolutely. And so this is where you can make some changes and substitutions, right? Dressing, main crunchy, lettucey thing, which could be anything other than Brussels sprouts, and then a grain. So quinoa would be a fantastic substitution. You can use barley, like cooked barley in there instead. Using whole grains in like a salad form it's a nice way to include them in your diet, but also just in terms of adding texture, it's a great option. So make your substitutions as you need. Yeah, at this
I
point.
just wondered, was it the carb count that you gave for that quarter cup farro? Was it the carbs?
Oh, no, it wasn't the carb. The carb for a quarter cup would be about 34 grams, but the fiber component is 5 grams.
So it's high.
Yeah. Now, when you look at the carb count, though, you subtract the amount of fiber from it, right? Yeah.
Question. Could you repeat how you can preserve it in the freezer? You mentioned the farro can be storage in
Stored in-
box. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So the fado in the freezer, any cooked grains. What I like to do, open the bag of tricks. They've seen this before. These are muffin tins, silicone-based muffin tins. These are fantastic. They're used, I guess, for making muffins and never use them for muffins. But they're fantastic for freezing things because they're flexible. So I would take my grains and pack it in here. If you want, you can top it with a little bit of olive oil on top. For me, I'm just thinking one step ahead because I'm probably going to put that in a pot to defrost, and as that olive oil melts, it becomes part of my fat that's not toasting the grain. But otherwise, you just keep them in here, freeze them, and then you pop them out. And then you'll get little pucks of your grains that you can keep in a freezer bag. And then next time you want to add some grains to like your stew or a chili or a soup, or defrost it and put it into a salad, it's accessible, and portion-wise, you kind of know what you're working with. Yeah.
And it gives you that portion, right? So if you need to, if you are carb counting and you need to manage your portions, this portions it out for you already, and you have cute little blocks.
Absolutely. Yes. So, I see a salad coming in.
Yes.
This is looking really good. So as you continue with that, Chef Jeremy, as a wellness chef, you are a wealth of knowledge.
Ooh.
Fangirling again.
All right.
So what's the most unusual ingredient that you love?
Yeah. What's yours?
Oh, unusual. I don't know if it's unusual, but dried mushrooms.
Oh.
Is that unusual? From remember now. Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Okay.
Miso.
Smoothie or salad? Who wins in a food fight?
Oh, salad.
Yeah.
What's your chef superpower?
I think at this point I'm good at simplifying things versus making things extra complicated when I first started.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Excellent. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay, with a caveat, I like how you left.
You left me here. Oh dear.
With a caveat for me, because I do like pineapple on pizza, if it's paired with something spicy.
Okay.
Like peppers. Yeah. Spicy, sweet. I like the contra taste. Yeah. Yeah. So spicy, sweet. Yes. Yeah. I might not be allowed back into Italy at this point, but it's worth it. All right.
I have a question for our audience.
Yes.
Yeah. So you heard me talk about Brussels and Brussels sprouts. Do you know why they're called Brussels sprouts? No. Yes.
Maybe the original place is from Brussels.
Oh, we have 15,000 Brussels sprout points for you.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah. So they get their name from their geographical origin. So that was correct. And the term Brussels refers to the Belgian capital, where the sprouts were believed to be first cultivated in the 13th century. Now, there's also the role of the Flemish growers. So another theory suggests that it originated from Flemish growers who cultivated this vegetable in the vicinity of Brussels. Too many S's. And in the Flemish language has a term spruit, meaning sprout, and that's how we get the term. Yes, and that all happened because I was like, is it Brussels or Brussels sprouts?
All right, so I added some parsley. Any fresh herbs, you can sort of go with whatever you like here. A little bit of color, a little punch of flavor, but that's pretty much it. So we have our onions in our dressing. We're combining it with our cooked grain, which in this case we're using fado, but you can use quinoa, you can use other grains as well. And then a shredded, again, I like leaning on things like Brussels sprouts, cabbage, even kale in salads because it holds up better to a dressing. If you've made salads before with more of a leaf type dressing, it doesn't really go beyond like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before it gets soggy. Whereas a cabbage leaf will hold up even the next day. This will actually probably even taste better the next day. So great option, alternative to use. And just to add a little bit more flavor.
Oh, look at the glistening cheese.
Yeah, so this is a shredded cheese. This is a goat cheese, but it's a sharper goat cheese. So as opposed to like probably the more common, softer, sort of crumbled goat cheese, this is a sharper goat cheese. I'm using it in this case just because a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot, even though it looks like I'm adding a lot.
And just by Jeremy doing that, I can smell.
Yeah. It's really, really nice and.
So I would probably say like you can skip the salt if you're adding this, because it'll give it a bit of a savory taste too.
Absolutely.
And based on what you were saying about the next day, coming off of Canadian Thanksgiving, I'm always looking for something I can make the day before. So for our American friends or for Christmas, it's great to know that this is or a potluck that you might be going to. This is something you can make the day before and still wow your guests with its appearance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so
We have a lot of wows in here.
we'll do a little more sprinkle.
Oh, look at that.
And that's it. That's our Brussels sprout and fado salad. Trying to win the sada over with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you won me over and continue to win me over with answering more questions. So, Chef Jeremy,
Yes.
What kitchen gadget can you not live without?
Oh, okay. The knife is not a gadget, so I would say a salad spinner.
Ah, not what I thought you'd say.
Not what I thought you'd say either.
Only because I use it probably more than anything else.
We just don't see it.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right. And Daniela, your question is one food you could eat every day and never get sick of.
This is a crazy one, but cereal and milk for breakfast. Wherever I go, cereal and milk for breakfast.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, if veggies had personalities, which one would be the sassiest and why?
Jeremy's laughing over there. I'm going to say rhubarb. Rhubarb. Yeah. Well, that vibrant magenta color, the long, slender stalks, the big leaves, but also it's a vegetable that wants to hang out with fruits.
Yes.
Right? It leaves its group of veggies and goes to hang out more with strawberries, let's say. And maybe that's leaning towards my favorite dessert is strawberry rhubarb pie.
Excellent. That was my next question. Well done. Chef Jeremy, if you could cook for any cartoon character, and why?
This is awesome.
I'm going to say Garfield.
Oh.
This is maybe a little bit of a throwback.
And why?
Oh, because, like, how do you not please Garfield? It's really easy. He eats everything.
Yeah.
And my background in cooking is Italian, and I think he leans towards that fare. So, yeah.
Does he really? Okay, you know a
Lasagna.
lot about
Lasagna,
Garfield.
Yes. Absolutely.
And last one for you for now. What's your favorite food pun? I have examples if you need it.
Oh.
I'm going to lean on the master of food puns, who it's my dad, and his go-to is just for the halibut.
You see my way out?
Yeah. Yes. And he will
Oh my God.
never
I
thinks he overuses it.
get along with your dad because
Yeah.
I use it all the time
Yeah.
too.
I have a question.
Question.
So the Brussels cookie salad, all this is this an Italian cooking recipe?
Oh, your Brussels sprouts.
I don't know if it's Italian, but definitely roots, only because of my background in cooking. So definitely fado, you would see, it's an ancient grain that you would probably see in traditional Roman times. I think that's probably where you hear of it.
Well, they talked about it like the Middle East as well.
The Middle East as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So it has a journey, but I mean, you'll see it in a lot of Italian food for sure.
Mhm.
But different versions of it. Spelt, you'll see in other cultures. And so, yeah, maybe a little bit with the pecorino cheese for sure. Yeah.
Bit of a slant.
Yeah, a
there.
little bit like a Western Italian thing. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to
Yeah.
recipe two.
So I can smell the tomatoes.
Yes.
I see some turkey there. Okay, so Moroccan chickpea chili. Is this what
Yes.
this is? Yeah, Moroccan chickpea chili. So it's a plant-forward diet. It's a healthier way of eating that can help reduce several chronic conditions, including some cancers. Now, this approach emphasizes vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains that we just saw in the previous recipe, and limiting intake of animal-based products. But it does not eliminate all animal proteins. There's still a role for animal proteins in our diet. They're an excellent source of protein, the best form that can help build muscle. The beauty of this recipe lies in the richness of the plant foods. As you can see here, we have some squash, chickpeas, parsley, cilantro, tomatoes, and then we have a smaller amount of ground turkey. So it's a great balance of going plant forward, but still maintaining some of the healthier animal protein foods.
Yeah, absolutely. This is sort of a lean on what to do with leftovers after Thanksgiving. And hiding things in chili is always an easy win. So if you have, we're using ground turkey today, but if you have like leftover turkey in the freezer, this is an easy way to sort of integrate it back in to use it up. Or you can keep it completely plant-based as well and just go heavier on the chickpeas and legumes. So really, really flexible dish. But we're going to start off with some these North African spices, something that definitely inspires me from that region, especially Morocco, are all these amazing flavors, all these incredible flavors. So, and you can sort of be flexible with this, but we're using some ground spices here. So we have some turmeric, some cinnamon, some cumin, and I add a little bit of smoked paprika because we're in that chili sort of range here. Also a little bit of ground ginger or fresh ginger you can add. And we're going to add that directly to our pot. So we have a soup pot here, a little bit of olive oil, medium heat. So we'll put this directly in. I want to, I call it blooming. I want to bloom the spices. And so what that means is by heating them up first in this warm fat, the olive oil, we're going to really express a lot of those essential oils that are in the spices. So really, really maximizing their flavor. Okay.
And that's what I've learned from you, is that the ground spices go in at this point, right?
Yes.
I used to add them later on, but this is when you get the most flavor.
Yeah, you'll get the most flavor out of it this way, or also like sort of heating it, sort of toasting it a little bit.
Okay.
You can absolutely use whole spices. I'm a big fan of whole spices. It just takes an extra step. So if you don't have the time, go for ground. Ground is great. But also because it is ground, that sort of powderiness we want to cook out. Right? If I were to add the spices near the end of the dish and stir it through, you're going to get sort of like this chalky powderiness on your palate, which isn't too pleasant. So we do want to cook that out at the beginning. Any other aromatics that you want to add, go for it. I have a massive chunk of garlic. This is half a clove.
That's half a clove.
Yeah, it's a half a clove. You can mince it or just give it a little crush, which I did earlier, but I just crushed it further. And we're just going to add the whole clove in there. You can hear it sizzle. You probably smell the spices now. Yes.
You smell it more there, actually, and maybe where I thought it is, than you do here. I've noticed that.
Yeah. So onion as well if you want. We're going to add a little bit of chopped onion to this. You can add, again, fresh ginger. It'd be really nice. You can add things that I'm watching the video.
This would be awesome to make. You know, ahead of time, and then invite your friends over and watch the Blue Jays win our next game. Don't say it out loud. Okay. I won't say it out loud.
All right.
So as we continue,
Yes.
what is your feel-good ingredient? Lots of ingredients, but do you have a particular feel-good ingredient?
Ooh, garlic. I think because it keeps vampires away.
Well done. And if cooking had a soundtrack, what song would be playing in your kitchen?
Actually, all morning today I was listening to, so not the song, but the album 2112, which is going to go over most people's heads. Rush, Canadian Talent.
Canadian Talent, yes.
2112, only because it's chaotic and harmonizing at the same time.
Just like
But
your
mostly
kitchen.
chaotic.
Just like your kitchen. And what's your favorite comfort food after a long shift, Daniela?
Oh gosh, peanut butter on anything. Peanut butter on toast, with banana, maybe with apples, even on its own, maybe with chocolate. Yeah, even chocolate. I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And if you could invent a new holiday, seeing as you're just talking about Canadian Thanksgiving, if you could invent a new holiday based on food, question for both of you, what would it be called?
You go first. Look at you.
A new holiday around food?
Around food.
Eatmas.
Love it.
Exactly.
Love it.
So, I mean, that's just all the
Eatmas.
time for me.
That's all the time for you?
Yeah. Do you have one?
All that comes to mind, maybe it's just stemming off of the wellness talk. You do you day,
Ooh,
right?
you do your day.
You do you day, and that's going to involve food because you do you with whatever foods you want. But
How about in the audience? Does anyone in the
Yeah.
audience have an eating related or food related made up
Can
holiday?
you repeat the question again?
If you could create a new holiday based on a food, what would that holiday be?
also, listeners and watchers,
Yes.
if you want to submit your question, your answer, yeah.
We'll let you think about it.
Yeah, think about it. And let
Just
us know.
jump out with.
I think it sounds boring, but apple appreciation.
Ooh.
There's so much stuff you can make, but it's
Yes.
very sweet or just chopping on it.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe a little sneak peek into our third recipe.
Yeah.
All right.
Apple Appreciation Day for those that are watching and listening.
Okay, so here's where we're at. Softened the aromatics, the onion, the garlic, the spices. It looks really colorful and beautiful in there. You can smell that as well. And again, if you have aversion to certain spices and aromas, you can tone that down as well. You can play with this a little bit, right? To this, we're going to add the turkey. Ground turkey, you can add ground chicken, or I can keep this completely vegetarian as well. So we're going to add this in.
And you could do beef too sometimes. Like with the recommendation is to limit your intake of red meat, but you can still have some. So the recommendation is not to have more than 500 grams per week. So that could be 3 to 4 times a week that you would have it. What would that look like? Well, the palm of your hand or a deck of cards is about 100 grams. So that gives you an idea.
Or pork.
Pardon me? Oh, pork. Yes, yes.
Or
pork would be good too.
if you were keeping this probably a little more traditional,
Yeah.
would be on the fattier side, but in a smaller portion is lamb. Lamb would probably be more traditional for Moroccan style chicken.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And we had a question.
Yeah, so the limitation for per week of the red meat, including pork, beef, and lamb,
Yes.
is 500 grams.
Yeah.
So I personally like the sausages and salami so much,
Uh-huh.
but that can I also eat it, but
Oh.
not just every day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that also belongs to red meat.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So the question referred to limiting intake of red meat, and the red meats including beef, pork, lamb, and the question is about more processed meats, like sausages and salami, particularly. So when it comes to the processed meats, it's a little different. There is a stronger connection there with some types of cancers like stomach cancer. So the recommendation is just to have it sparingly, avoid it if you can. But like I've said in a lot of classes, if you go somewhere and there's a charcuterie board and you really want that salami or that prosciutto or, I don't know, ham, have it. Once in a while, it's okay. We just don't want you having it every day. So that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so a little bit of color on the turkey. I'm gonna speed things up, but you can cook it for like 5 minutes, just until you get a little bit of color. Sort of breaking it up as we go along, so you can kind of see that a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And then to this, our remaining ingredients, and then we can just sit down and relax and let it do its thing. So, chickpeas. We're using chickpeas. That's a nice way to sort of, like you mentioned, balance out the protein. So it's
Yes.
not all animal-based protein, but we can sort of split it and use some plant-based protein as well. Drained and rinsed, canned is absolutely fine. It's easy adding that in there. And then we have leftover squash because it is fall and squash is very readily available. So you can buy it pre-diced. We always talk about ways to make the cooking process a little bit easier. If anyone has prepped a squash before, you will know that it's probably not the easiest vegetable to prep. It is a hard ground vegetable, very challenging. So you can use pre-cut, also frozen. We love frozen. Any opportunity we get to talk about frozen, we will. So frozen squash is already peeled, chopped, diced. All the work is already done for you. And for something like a chili or a soup that's going to get soft, and we want it to get soft anyways, make it easy. Freezer bag, add a cup, 2 cups, and you're good to go. Right?
And you're still getting the nutrition there. So we've come a long way with how we freeze our fruits and vegetables. And so it's a flash freeze process that actually locks in the nutrition. So, we talk about most of your plate, we want your healthy plate to be half colorful fruits and vegetables. It's hard to always buy fresh and local, especially as we're getting into the winter months. So having some frozen fruits and vegetables in your freezer, excellent option.
Yeah, absolutely.
And economical.
And longer shelf life as well. Tomatoes. You can use either the puree tomato or these are whole tomatoes. Which I like because I like the texture and having like the big sort of chunks of tomato in there. But if you don't like that, then just go for it's called passata, which is means passed. That'll work as well. So that is going in.
Did you just learn something?
He said passata.
Yes.
And my name's Asata.
Yes.
Asada pasada. Okay, there's okay. Oh my gosh.
There we go.
I can't stop calling you that now. Asada pasada.
We're going to add, that was maybe intentional. There we go, it's part of it. We're going to add some stock as well. This is just some veg broth. You can add water, like don't make things super complicated. There's so much flavor in here already. Water's going to be absolutely fine, but we just need a couple cups. And if I didn't rinse out the inside, the can, then my grandmother would throw lightning bolts at me or something. So this is just
Get every little bit.
exactly
Right.
nothing lost.
Yeah.
So that goes in. And
Still
then
holding Canada chickpeas. I guess there's a reason for that. I was looking at the ingredients, and so having canned is a great option. You want to look for what doesn't have a lot of additions. So, for instance, this is a chickpeas and water, perfect. And then draining it just gets rid of some of that indigestible carbohydrates, so it's less gassy as well. Now I'll get rid of the can.
so that's pretty much it. Let that simmer and let that do its thing. 30 minutes, and the squash will be nice and soft. Everything will be cooked through, and it's going to taste fantastic. If I have time, let it continue to go, because the more it reduces, the more the flavors concentrate. It'll get a little bit thicker, more like a traditional chili. And you can also serve this the next day. So you can definitely make this in advance.
Looks good.
The next day, or so you can kind of see. I'm going to try not to tilt it all over the countertop, but you can kind of see here everything's nice and thickened up. The squash, some of the starch is released off the squash, so that's going to also help thicken it up. And we'll serve.
Now we have ground turkey in here, so we're getting a good source of protein. The chickpeas are an excellent source of plant protein. When it comes to nutrients like iron and vitamin B12. So there is iron in the chickpeas, but it's not absorbed as easily or as well as the iron from meat. So the great thing about this chili is that we have tomatoes in there, we have squash, and they're rich in vitamin C. And vitamin C actually helps you absorb 50% more of the iron from the chickpeas.
Okay.
So that's our food power couples. Yeah.
Oh.
If you were to ask me what my food power couple was,
Yes.
I think that would be my biggest one.
There you
Yeah.
Danielle's taking over.
Yes,
Oh, I already have a game in place too, but that's Asada Pasada. Yeah, my brain's going.
There we go. So there's our Moroccan chickpea chili recipe number 2.
How are we doing time-wise?
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
So you talked about food power couples.
Oh, yes.
What about superfoods? Are we still using the term superfoods?
Superfoods, yeah.
Mhm. So what's the
That's
most?
a good term.
Yes, it's a good term. Perfect. What's the most underrated superfood?
So what I meant to say, it's a common term or a popular term. And from my perspective, there isn't one superfood,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
We want to have a variety of foods in our diet, and each food has a superpower. So you want to keep that variety. But was the question what's under or
What's
over?
the most underrated?
Underrated. Okay. So I kind of have two. One is prunes, right? We don't really hear a lot about prunes anymore unless you're, having some digestive issues. But actually, prunes can also help with, if you have like 5 to 6 prunes per day, there's research that it can help with reducing fractures, improving bone health. And then the other one is celery. I think years ago we talked a lot about celery. Everyone was eating celery. And we just think of it as just being something bland, tasteless. It has a crunch to it, lots of water. But there are some good nutrients there too. There's like some potassium, there's vitamin C there's fiber. You can use the leaves also in smoothies. So yeah, so maybe those two.
Okay. And last question before you continue with your next recipe is the most overrated healthy food trend.
The most overrated health. Oh, there's so many.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm gonna say only because I prefer the alternative. I think juicing. Is something
Yes.
When for me, it's like just don't strain out all the goodness. Just
Yeah.
blend it all together. So
Yeah.
like smoothie versus just the juice. Yeah, but I mean, people like juicing too, so I don't want to yuck on people's yums, but I would just
Okay, last one before I leave you to it. Favorite comfort food after a long shift?
I already had mine, so.
Yes.
Oh, what was your
What's
comfort
yours?
food? I missed it.
Peanut butter
Oh,
on
peanut butter.
anything.
Oh, peanut butter and anything. Favorite comfort food. Peanut butter is a good one. I'm going to say. Oh no.
You
Say
stumped.
Oh,
You stumped
You don't
the
know?
chef.
I'll let you think about it. You can think about it while you introduce the next.
okay. I'll think.
While you think about that before we introduce the next,
Sorry.
any other holidays?
Holidays.
Food
Or comfort foods.
comfort foods? Yes.
Chocolates.
Oh,
Chocolate, of
yes.
course.
I don't know if that's a comfort food for me, but it's so good. I like it all. Any other comfort foods?
Gelato.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
A lot of sweet tooths coming in there.
Again, our audience from home, let us know what your comfort
Yes,
food
let
is
us know
too.
if you're watching.
Has that helped you?
no.
At all? No.
I just, it's whatever's in front of me, then I will eat it, and it will provide comfort.
Interestingly
Okay.
enough, we have peanut butter here.
We do. We have peanut butter. We have apples for our apple
Yes.
holiday.
Yes.
That was mentioned. We have some quinoa as well. That was mentioned earlier. So we are making some spiced apple quinoa bites. Snacks. Speaking of comfort food, I'm a big snacker. So anything snacky is going to provide me comfort. But it's helpful to have snacks accessible that maybe have a little extra protein or fiber
Yeah.
or nutrients, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, and dates. Okay, we have dates. For a second, I thought we had prunes.
You can use prunes
You
in
can
this
use prunes in this
instead
too,
of dates,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So yes, so you're getting a good amount of protein, a good amount of fiber, and they're small.
Yes.
And so the great thing about them being small is that if you have a poor appetite, then it's not going to overwhelm you, and you can have it, small amounts throughout the day. Great for that. Also, if you're trying to become more active, it's good to have some protein, some fiber to sustain your energy. So it's good as a pre-workout, post-workout. That's it. Full stop.
Full stop. Okay, so I have some equipment up here. You can do this by hand, and it's really the dates or any dried fruit that needs to be chopped up. So as long as you can just chop up the date, then you can just mix everything by hand, and it will form together. The dried fruit is sort of necessary. It's going to provide some sweetness, but it's sort of our binder for the whole thing. It sort of pulls everything together. So like Daniela mentioned, prunes would be a great substitute. You can use prunes instead. You can use raisins. We're just going to be using dates in this case. Yes, dried cranberries. Yeah, you can use dried cranberries as well. So food processor is just a workhorse that makes everything much easier for us. So I'm going to throw all the dates in there, about half a cup, give or take. You can use almond butter or peanut butter. We have to include Daniela's comfort food, of course.
It looks like crunchy peanut butter, but I guess in this case it doesn't really matter because
But
you're
it doesn't matter.
curating it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I like crunchy peanut butter.
Okay.
I didn't have to whisper that. Okay, some peanut butter and then some quinoa. We're going to add a little bit of quinoa to this. Quinoa is something a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we'll lean on oats. Oats are so great. I love oats. I think we probably talk about oats too much. That's why I'm with the quinoa.
Yeah, you do talk a lot about oats.
You can't talk about oats too much. Okay, good. Only because oats, another whole grain. Right?
Yes,
But
yes.
very easy to use. Like I don't have to do anything to it. As long as it's a flaked oat, I can go ahead and just add it directly to the machine. Okay, so that's a substitute for the quinoa. Quinoa is just something a little bit different.
And
But
it's gluten-free.
it is gluten-free.
Yeah.
And you were telling me something that it's similar nutrition
Yes.
profile.
Yes, similar. So in our first recipe, we used farro. And quinoa and farro are very similar because their protein, the protein per serving is the same, and same with the fiber. The only difference is that the quinoa is gluten-free. It also has a bit of a nutty
It does.
Nutty flavor.
Yeah.
Texture is a bit different. So it's a great option to include.
Yeah. Just make sure that it's cooked.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're adding it cooked. Follow the package, but it's pretty much the same. It's 2 parts liquid to 1 part of your quinoa. You bring it to boil, and once it starts boiling, reduce the heat to low, cover with a lid, and like 15 minutes until it absorbs all the water, and then you kind of set it aside. Okay, so that's sort of your go-to. Similar suggestion, if you like using quinoa, make a big batch and freeze it, like we talked about earlier with the fado, and then you can integrate it into your different dishes. And that cooking process, that more labor-intensive prep is done. Okay, so just big batch, cook the grains.
I have a did you know?
Did you know?
A did you know about quinoa? Quinoa is we talk about it as part of the whole grains, but it's actually a pseudo cereal grain. And do you know why that is? No. Do you know why it is, Jeremy?
Sorry, I don't know why it is.
It's because we're using the seed of the grain crop. So it's an edible seed of the grain crop. So it's called a pseudo cereal grain. And seeds prepared and eaten similarly to grains. Others are buckwheat and amaranth. Yeah. Not sure what you're going to do with that knowledge. I don't know if it's really nutrition knowledge, but
next time you get a little tip.
Yeah.
Little
You're at a
trivia.
party and say, that's really a pseudo cereal.
That's the kind of party I want to be at. All right. Spices. Whatever you like. We're having cinnamon, some ground ginger, some ground nutmeg, some of like your traditional autumnal.
Autumnal?
I knew I was going to ruin that.
Fall.
Spices. But you can use whatever you want. For flavor, vanilla would be really good. Cardamom, whatever you like in there. And that's it. We're going to start to pulse this up. Just to start to break down the dried fruit, the peanut butter. The quinoa is going to start to break down a little bit, but the quinoa is so small that it'll dodge the blade a little.
You're giving them personalities. What's yours? What's his sassiest? Was it a vegetable?
Yes.
What do you think is the sassiest vegetable or food?
I'm going to say chives.
Chives. Okay.
I don't have a reason. They were in my fridge, and it's the first thing that popped into my head.
They're so sassy.
They
don't need a reason.
You know what? They don't look like they have a lot of personality. It's just like it looks like grass. But it does have a lot of personality. They're actually pretty potent. So there you go. A lot of personality.
I thought of that question just because you were saying the quinoa was trying to dodge the blade, and I thought, ooh, quinoa's pretty sassy.
Okay, so all mixed together. And if I were to compact this, it will sort of hold its shape. So that's what I'm looking for, right? So you can kind of see that's going to hold its shape. I didn't put the apples in yet. The reason I did not put the apples in is because they're fresh apples. And if I start to pulse them down too much, we're going to release a lot of that moisture, and it's going to make this very, very wet and very hard to roll. Okay? So what I like to do is I'll just toss the apples in at the end, and I'm not going to actually pulse them up. This is another reason if you didn't want to use a food processor and just chop everything by hand, then you can do that as well, and you won't have to worry about the liquid coming out. So apples, you can grate them with a grater, cheese grater. That's probably the easiest way. If you want to chop them up, practice your knife skills. Apples are a great way to do that, to practice your knife skills. So I'll show you. I have a little slice here, and just very carefully run along that slice to create like little matchsticks. Okay.
Matchsticks.
And then we're going to take those matchsticks, we'll turn them, and then we'll cut across those matchsticks.
And I like that you kept the skin on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The color is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we have these small little pieces. Okay. Again, you can just use a cheese grater if you're not super comfortable with your knife. and just get the shreds of the apple, which is absolutely fine. And then we'll take this to the machine. Actually, you know what I'm
Want me to hold it?
So I don't want to. You can just hold that for the rest of the class.
Okay.
We'll get a bowl to make things a little bit easier. I like to avoid doing as many dishes as possible, but just in this case, we'll transfer it into a bowl. And it's I don't know if you can smell it.
I can smell the peanut butter.
The peanut butter,
I
but
can
the
smell
spices,
the
the nutmeg and the cinnamon, and all those spices.
Maybe it's
as
because
well.
I like peanut butter.
You know, the peanut
I
butter.
can smell the peanut butter.
All right.
We were talking about superfoods.
Yes.
It made me think of acai berries. So I think that's an overrated one. Sometimes we go, the superfoods are like unattainable or expensive and rare. But we really have the same in our current pantry or kitchen or farmer's market, and bring it full circle back to Apple Appreciation Day. Same amount of antioxidants in apples as acai berries. So great, have the acai berries, but don't feel like you have to it's a superpower food. Apples are just as good, and having the variety, what's local, what's frozen, go for that.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think sometimes when we have these trendy foods,
Yes.
the price
Goes
also
up
goes
too.
up. Yes. So
Yes.
it's a great way to sort of avoid that. Okay, that's it. So now you have this amazing little mixture, and you can create these little sort of golf ball size bites or squares or whatever you like. But we're gonna hurry things up.
Do you like
because I
peanut
did
butter too?
minutes.
Yes, definitely. Liking this, loving this, and I love the magic of television. Oh,
Magic
just
of
Ah,
Oh,
nice.
as well. So you have your little bites ready to go again with the crunchy apples and the oats and the spices.
Perfectly round, right?
Spices.
How did you get them perfectly round? Is that just a chef prep?
So no. So what you can do if you have gloves, it's a lot
Yes.
easier because it doesn't stick. If you're using your hands, use a little bit of water or even a little bit of oil on it. and you
Okay.
can roll that way.
Okay.
Or another fun gadget, they have the mini ice cream scoops. And those are super easy,
okay.
and you can scoop it. This mixture is a little bit looser. You might need a little bit of force to compact it, but those are great tools as well. And then you can leave it as is or roll it in a little cocoa. It's completely up to you. I know we have
Let's try
some
peanut
chocolate
butter.
fans here. We have our little bites. And
I'll add that for healthcare workers, often busy, you don't have time sometimes to jump into your set meal times. This might be a good way to to satiate yourself in between shifts. I don't have time to sit down and have my lunch, but I can grab
Perfect.
this on the
Yes.
go.
Yes. I would totally agree. Because it has some protein, it has some fiber, so it'll sustain your energy for longer. And it also has that little bit of chocolate appeal, right? Because sometimes, especially overnight, if you're working shift work or overnight, sometimes you start to have cravings. And it's hard to get away from those cravings for chips or chocolate. So this kind of is an in-betweener.
Or
Yeah.
children's lunchboxes.
And children's lunch.
Oh,
Well, the nuts. We have a problem with the nuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We have to do something different. What would you
you
suggest?
can do this. You could do this without the nuts, as long as you have. What I would do is just add a little bit more dried fruit. Yeah, because it's the dried fruit that's really going to compact everything together.
Yeah.
So if you left the peanut butter out,
Yeah.
up the dried fruit a little bit, and then add the rest.
Yeah.
as well.
And I guess they also have like nut butters, not
Oh,
like
seed
seed butters.
Seed
thing.
butters,
Okay.
yeah, it depends on the
Or a
rolls.
pea butter.
That
Okay.
sounds.
No, am I making things up now?
No, I think there might be
I'm
something.
making things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we good for time? Do you have time
Yes.
for a bonus question?
Absolutely.
Okay, your bonus question. Oh, wait. Did you already show the...
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so one dish, if you have one dish to show how food can support both physical and mental well-being, what are you making? What's in it? And why?
Wow.
Okay, so I think my go-to, and this is kind of a comfort food too for me, there's a dish called ribolita. we have a few recipes of this on our website. Actually, it is a stew. It's a hearty stew with essentially a lot of leftover ingredients, beans, a lot of veg, broth, and usually day-old torn up bread inside. So very hearty. It's meant to be very budget friendly, but it's even though it is very budget friendly, the nutrition, the wellness of it is still very accessible. So yeah,
And it sounds like it's also high in protein.
it's called ribollita.
Oh,
I'm testing your Italian skills, which it means reboiled,
okay.
which is not so pleasant in that translation, but it sounds
better in Italian.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's this idea of recooking leftover ingredients to make this a really sort of harmless dish.
Lovely. And Daniela, your bonus question is, what's one small but mighty nutrition tip that you can share for healthcare workers to support their overall well-being?
Oh my gosh. I think it goes back to these energy bites or things that you can make in advance so that you can then just bring to work with you and be less tempted to have the junk food that's around. It's not to say that there isn't a place for junk food. There is, but you want to also balance it up with some nutritious food. I would say it also should have some protein and fiber. The protein, the fiber together will help you sustain your energy for longer, and the protein also is important for building muscle and taking care of yourselves also as healthcare workers, the stress that you're under as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Asata, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well done. I love this.
So, super professional.
How long did it take you to come up with those questions?
2 seconds.
All right.
I'm fangirling forever.
Wow.
And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thanks, everyone, for watching online. Just a reminder, if you're watching online, the recipes will be out tomorrow. You're here today, you have the recipes, and you'll get to try the recipes shortly. Our next class is in November.
In November. We never know the date.
Third Thursday.
Third Thursday of the month.
Which Daniela is looking up now. If you're watching online, you can subscribe. That would be awesome.
20th.
And it reminds you, and it's the 20th. So the 20th of November, we'll be back, 12 to 1, and you can join us then. Otherwise, go Jays go, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Would anybody like some water?